Hi, I'm Elaine Clayton, talking about the way of the empath, how compassion, empathy, and intuition can heal your world. And I'm going straight to chapter 5, the end of chapter 5, creative imagining. And I start out with a life devoid of empathic sensing is a life that denies the power of the imagination to innovate. So how empathic sensing is attached to imagination is that the place in us where we know quietly, spiritually, the imagination is there, empathic sensing, emotions, all of that is there. And it's easy to turn it off. We've been encouraged to turn it off and to focus only outward. But if we cultivate the feelings that come into our awareness, the knowledge that comes in that we maybe gain through surprise, like through when you're creating and a solution comes out of a creative moment, or when things happen that you don't really have an explanation for, but they're delightful and interesting. For example, deja vu, the moment where you feel like you've been here before and time kind of stops or is suspended in a funny way, and you know that the person is about to say something because you feel like you've heard it before, and then they do. Some of those, you can't control when you'll have a deja vu experience, but it's important to honor them and to write them down when they come. Also, the same with synchronicity. Like subtle types of synchronicity can happen almost any time. And looking out for synchronicities and even asking for them is even really more fun. Again, we don't have a lot of control over that, but wow, when it happens, you just can't ignore it. And being fascinated, allowing wonderment, a little sense of awe is what helps us feel connected inside out. The world can feel so like a disconnected, especially these days, polarized experience. And yet we're very connected. So when we have a synchronistic moment, like you say a phrase and then all of a sudden someone on TV says the same exact phrase. How could that happen? Or someone talked about hearing a song on the radio they haven't heard in a long time. It's an old song. They switched the channel and there it was on the other radio channel at the same time. So you might play with that and say, wow, that is uncanny. And maybe, what is the name of the song? What are the lyrics? Sometimes there is meaning in exploring how a synchronistic event may have meaning. Sometimes it's just there for the surprise element, and it makes us feel a little bit more than ordinary. There's something kind of magical and mysterious. So honoring that which arrives and letting anything really in the day, doesn't have to be deja vu or synchronicity, but those little moments that you have a particular reaction to, don't ignore those things. Write them down. I recommend keeping a dream journal or really a sketchbook for during the day. You write down dreams, any images, feelings, or thoughts that come. It only takes a few moments because all of those things are full of meaning for us. And anything that happens during the day that might be curious or interesting or creative ideas that you have, all of that, cultivating that helps us feel connected from the inside out. And then we're able to engage with others in that same kind of lightly surprising way. It doesn't mean that all those thoughts and feelings that we have are lighthearted. Sometimes we're very much suffering. And sometimes, especially in dreams, the themes that arise are images and feelings and thoughts that are very hard for us. But the more we pay attention to those things and connect them meaningfully to our waking knowledge, our mind process while we're awake, we're able to have depth and to have insight. And insight is really important. Intuitive, empathic knowing is quiet, sometimes subtle. It's, again, based on our own uniqueness, which is creative ingenuity that we each have. So cultivating it is important. So chapter 5, when you have an experience like, you know, deja vu, a dream that seems precognitive, you think of someone and they call you, but you haven't heard from them in a long time, but how did they email you or call you right when you were thinking of them? Interesting things like that. Being playful, keeping your childlike sense of imagination. And let me know things that happen. I love hearing people's accounts of precognition or synchronicity. So subscribe to my channel if you like. We'll be talking about all kinds of things empathic and creative, the way of the empath. I'm Elaine Clayton, and you can also reach me at elaineclayton.com and see what happens today. I have a feeling a happy surprise will come your way today. Just don't ignore it.